New Eden, a fable, a one-act play, an adaptation, reimagining, and reinterpretation of Orwell's Animal Farm by Cardez. Characters: time, turtle, a curmudgeon, Japanese accent. Jefe is lion, Machiavellian, Latino accent. Regent, tiger, quixotic, Indian accent. Tank, rhino, gentle giant, French accent. Tiki, female rhino, practical, French accent. Snitch, a snake in all ways, Italian accent. Knowledge, a black panther, you get it, African accent. Parrots, 10 parrots played by one person, mindlessly mimicking. Hyenas, 4 hyenas played by one person, the muscle, cubs and full grown. Oso, bear, older, 50 plus. Nervous, English accent. Coco, koala bear, institutionalized, Australian accent. The 12, pack of guard dogs played by one person wearing black spiked collar, New York accent, or NYC accent. Pride, 4 lionesses played by one person, Latino accent. Cha-Cha, young rabbit, Irish accent. Zoe, young zebra, Russian accent. Roo, young kangaroo, Australian accent. Setting, the whole stage should be used. Center is the center court of a zoo. Upstage left, 12's house. Upstage right, main entrance to the zoo. Downstage right, Pride's enclosure. Downstage left, bench and fence. There should be a small stage center court, a flag near the entrance, and a huge sign that reads, the zoo. Time, now. Act 1, summer, Sunday evening. Lights flip up on the center court. Knowledge is on the mini stage. Animals surround him, listening, semicircle, cheating towards the audience.
My fellow animals, by now most of you have heard that 2 of our fellow compatriots were killed by the 12. May old school and cell phone rest in peace. Most of you already know me, but for those that don't, my name is Knowledge. I no longer remember my name before the 12 named me Knowledge. It was the brutal and unnecessary murder of our friends that brings me here today. I fear for my life. I fear for all of our lives. I know I will never see the savannah again, and therefore I must try to make a difference in my new forced home. The pain and suffering I see and hear among you is more than I can stand. I can no longer hold my tongue. Damn the consequences. See, we have become so accustomed to our lives that we have forgotten that we are caged against our will. We are slaves to merciless masters that reap benefits and money from our suffering. Or does our caging not provide funds to the territories? And yet, even as they need us for their economic survival, the 12 abuse us. We lack even the most basic of rights: clean water, nutritious food, safe surroundings, and adequate care. And it is because of these abuses that so many of us will die at the hands of the 12. The 12, the very ones tasked with our protection. But we know this and do nothing. Why? Why are we so scared when we outnumber them 10 to 1? For many, it is because we have fallen into the belief that we need them, that they are doing their best and it could be worse. Fools! Too many, far too many accept their special herbs that only work to subdue you. They claim it is for our benefit, but it is clearly only for theirs. I ask you, will you fight for your freedom? Will you fight for your freedom from them? Do you see that it is against them? That nothing will ever change that. If we don't make changes for ourselves, change will never come. Who do you think really runs the zoo anyway? Do you ever see the 12 actually work? Clean, cook, anything except watch over us and berate us every chance they get. any excuse to keep us locked up in our cages. Our time in the large enclosures have diminished to the point that they are non-existent. I fear my legs have forgotten how to run, but fortunately my mind still works. I have a vision of a new Eden, where we all care and serve for each other, for the greater good. Can you see it? Can you imagine it? Free to wander, food galore, care when we need it, safe, happy, healthy. It does not have to live in fantasy. It is within our reach, if only we dare to reach for it.
A light goes on in 12's house, but nobody notices.
The answer is clear. The path is true. We must rise against our oppressors. It is either us or them. Us or them. Who do you choose? Are we the ignorant beasts they pretend us to be, or are we something more? I do not want to fight. I don't. I am old and tired, but if my last breath is taken in pursuit of freedom, then my life has had purpose and I die happily.
Shadows can be seen circling the animals too entranced by knowledge to notice.
So, I ask you again, us or them? That will always be our choice.
Blackout, a tremendous growl, strobe light effect, sounds of a vicious animal fight, barking, growling, tearing of flesh, screams of pain, silence. Lights, knowledge is laying dead, draped over the small stage. A hyena also lays dead. The hyena cubs whimper next to her body. Slowly the animals return to the center of the stage, sad and scared. Tiki finds the mother hyena.
How could the 12 have done this? Why? We didn't do anything. These poor cubs. What will happen to them? Who will raise them?
I will, Tiki. They will kill their mother and sister in front of me, and then brought me here. And then I was just a cub myself. Take them to our enclosure and care for them as if they were your own. They will lack of nothing.
The pride takes the hyena cubs away off stage.
Hi, Regent. Do you think they are going to cut our feeds because of this? Punish us somehow?
Are you serious? Also, that's what you're thinking about as knowledge lays here murdered. All he wanted was for us to be free, but you're worrying about food.
I'm just saying, Regent. I like my wham-whams.
Arstar has a point. The last time something like this happened, the 12 kept us locked in our tiny cages for months. It makes me crazy being stuck in there all the time. I'm scared.
Coco, I understand what you are saying, but this is bigger than you or also now. The 12 have clearly decided they can do whatever they want without any repercussions. They do not care about us. They do not fear us because we have not given them a reason to. We cower because we are weak and only think of ourselves. But a little pain now can mean greater rewards later. I mean, were you all not touched by Knowledge's speech? His last message to us was clear. It is either us or them.
What are you saying? Revolt? Uprising? What is your name?
Hell yeah, Stitch. That's exactly what I'm saying. My name is Jefe, and I am not going to sit around and wait any longer for change to come. I am the change. Just like you are, and you, and you. Knowledge was right. We can win if we stick together. Who is with me?
Awkward silence as everyone looks at everyone else. Finally, Regent steps forward.
I am with you. Us against them.
Then follow me to their house. For knowledge. For us.
Jefe and Regent lead to the animals to 12's house. They bust down the door. Blackout. Sounds of another bloody fight ensues, but this time more dog whimpers and cries. Lights. The animals slowly emerge from the 12's house. They are battle weary. Regent is clearly limping.
What have we done? We're dead. We're all dead.
Shut up, Oso. We are all finally alive. You all fought bravely with honor and courage. The dogs never saw it coming. But here are the real heroes of the zoo liberation days. Tank and Regent, You two were brutal today, and thanks to you, none of us will have to worry about being hungry again or being cold and any other abuse. You have made knowledge proud. Today, we have all made every zoo animal in the territory proud.
You're really feeling yourself over there, aren't you? Calm down. What happens now? You think this is the first time the zoo animals took over the zoo? You think this matters? But it doesn't. Nothing changes because animals will always be animals.
What the hell does that mean? Not a great attitude, Time.
I said what I said. I've been around longer than any of you and will be around after most of you are gone.
Listen, Time. I respect you because you're an old school zoo animal and you were around the last time the animals took over the zoo. But we're different. We're going to have a code and we will never lose the zoo to the 12 again.
I hope you're right. What code?
Regent walks downstage right and starts to write on the wall in big, bold letters.
A code for living that we will all follow. 1. Everyone gets a vote and a voice in all zoo decisions. 2. All zoo animals are to be treated equally. 3. We are all to take care of each other. 4. No one is allowed to hurt another zoo animal. 5. Good and plenty of food for everyone. 6. Good and prompt care for anyone that needs it. 7. Clean and safe environment. 8. Jobs or education for everyone. 9. No taking herbs that are not for your care. 10. Us against them.
Animals nod and clap after every rule is read. They're excited, high-fiving, celebrating their new freedom and the beginning of their new lives.
Furthermore, we are no longer the zoo. We are New Eden. And we are no longer zoo animals. We are simply the animals we are.
Try something new. When the deal's this good, you can wild out every day. Save money with that.
Oh, is it the first day on top of your finances? The QuickBooks
Happy by Pharrell is about to play
After this commercial.
after this commercial break.
It is not much.
Okay. Good times, animals coming and going, lots of smiles, hugs, high fives, animals eating, baskets of food being transported, animals being taught to read in a corner. Regent plants a flag near the entrance of the zoo. The flag is homemade with 4 separate vistas: jungle, desert, forest, mountain range. He salutes it, small animals mimic him. Time walks slowly across the stage, looking around, shaking his head. Parrots fly around, chanting, us versus them, good days, freedom. Hefe is overseeing activities, shaking hands like a politician. Stitch is in a corner, furiously taking notes in his notebook. Eventually, it's just Hefe and Regent on stage. Song ends.
Hefe, why did you take all the fruit and herbs?
Regent, you know my pride needed it. We're bigger than any other animals. We need more calories.
I mean, I get that, but it's a bad look. We agreed to share everything equally.
Come on, Regent. We all know equal is fluid. It depends on the needs of New Eden. And New Eden needs the pride to be in good, healthy shape to continue and protect against the 12. You don't want to see another animal die because the pride was malnourished, do you?
I mean, of course not, but
Hefe and Regent pantomime continuing a heated discussion. The 12 are downstage left behind the bench and fence watching them.
see how the beasts argue? Creatures never change. It's just a matter of time. Soon we will have the zoo back and things will go back to normal. And it can't come soon enough. My pups are getting hungry. Must make preparations for our plan. Ooh, and can't forget to spread the word about all the nasty things these animals are doing. I'm gonna tell the territories about all the sexual deviancy and abuses I see.
Blackout. It is now night. A shadowy spotlight finds 12 sneaking over the fence. 12 cannot see that Tank is upstage standing guard, but Tank does see the 12. He yells for reinforcements and charges them. Blackout. Sounds of another gory, bloody battle ensues. Lights. One of the 12, signified by a bloody sweatshirt, is laying motionless on the ground. Tank is standing over him, clearly upset. Other animals are recovering from yet another battle.
I didn't want to kill him. Look at him, he looks so young. I remember him.
Thank you, it wasn't my fault, your fault, my love. This is war. This can be the price of freedom.
Tank, you saved us again. You deserve a promotion or something. From now on, you will be called Major Tank. Come over here. I want to show you something.
Guides the group of animals by the entrance of the zoo next to the flag. Spotlight follows, leaving the rest of the stage dark. In the darkness, the bloody sweatshirt is removed.
Look here.
Points to the flag on the ground. It looks as if something is inside of it. He picks it up and shows the group of animals what was inside. A sweatshirt with a picture of a rabbit on the front.
Does anyone know who this was? This was Hoppy. He was quiet and stayed to himself. But he believed in New Eden so much that the 12 came in and tried to destroy us. He wrapped himself in the flag instead of letting them take it. Most of us barely knew him, but he did that for us, for New Eden. This sacrifice will not go unnoticed. From now on, we will celebrate this day in the honor of Hoppy. Today will be commemorated as the Battle of Hoppy.
While Jefe was speaking, Tiki wandered back by where the motionless, thought dead, member of the 12 was laying. The sweatshirt is gone. Tiki screams, lights full.
Tank, he wasn't dead. He must have been unconscious. You don't have to beat yourself up anymore.
He's alive? I can't believe it.
I'm happy for you, Tank. I mean, Major Tank. We don't want to look like murderous savages. Now, everyone will see we were just protecting ourselves.
Goodness, Regent. You're so naive, it's almost dangerous. We are savages. They must believe we are capable of savagery. Otherwise, what's to stop them from trying to attack us again? When they kill one of ours, we kill 10 of theirs. Or have you forgotten the law of the jungle? The strong survive, the weak die.
That's dangerous thinking. Violence only brings more violence. We have the Sioux. Now we must try to find balance with our enemies.
Why? They don't try to find balance when they ran the zoo. Do you think that they would have just let us continue to be free in here if they would have ever won tonight?
We can't always be at war. Remember, we have weak and older animals here too.
Regent, I'm not sure I like where your head is. Are you still with us or are you with them? Because I am with Hoppy and Knowledge and Tank. I will never cower to them again. And anyone who does is a traitor and deserves death.
Regent stays quiet and walks off. Animals cheer Jefe's speech. Slowly, the rest of the animals leave the stage except for Oso, Coco, and Stitch.
This is some crazy shit. Plus, I'm hungry. Where is all the food we were promised? I haven't seen a piece of fruit in months, but I know we grow them. I think it was just better before.
Shh, not so loud. But I know what you mean, Osar. But please, be careful what you say. I think Jefe is crazy enough to kill someone for disagreeing with him.
But you agree with me, right, Coco?
I don't know what to think, but I'll tell you this. I have never worked harder and been hungrier and colder than I am now. They say freedom costs, but no one ever tells you how much. And the question is there ever a moment that the price is just too high?
Hey guys, sorry to startle you. I heard everything, and you're right. More right than you could ever know. What if I told you I could get you guys all the snacks without all the work? And whatever else you need.
We're listening.
Okay, you have to keep an open mind, and we're going to have to recruit a few more to our side here. Let me show you the plan.
Blackouts. Lights. Meeting. All animals are present. Jefe and Regent are debating on the stage.
Regent, things change, evolve. We all know this. These are good changes. I am storing food to help us survive through the winter. So yes, we may have to reduce rations for a while, but that's just until the new hydro garden is completed.
Firstly, Jefe, I don't recall having a vote to make you our leader. You have been making decisions that affect the rest of us, but you have not included us in the decision process. Secondly, you keep saying we, but I don't see your rations decreasing. In fact, I have never seen your pride, the hyenas, or yourself any heavier.
That's just our winter coat. An optical illusion. But I am getting tired of you questioning me and my motives. Don't forget, if it wasn't for me and my pride, you would all still be stuck watching life go by behind the cage. And remember, once the new hydro garden is completed, we will have plenty of food.
That's it. How dare you imply you and your pride were the only ones who have fought and bled for New Eden? Where do you think I got my limp?
You know, Regent, I think this all has gotten to you. Maybe you need to take some time to relax. Why don't you just take a couple of weeks and go relax in the back gardens? Yes, I think that's a good idea.
You are not getting rid of me that easily.
They are face to face, battle ready. All the animals are riveted. Jefe turns to face off stage and whistles. Suddenly, the hyenas that were once cubs return full grown. The image on the front of the sweatshirt is of 4 huge, mean-looking hyenas. They run up next to Jefe and glare at Regent. All the other animals are taken aback, alarmed.
What is the meaning of this?
I think it's time you took a break for your own good. We can do this the hard way or the easy way.
The hard way.
Jefe nods at hyenas who go after Regent. They fight, but eventually the hyenas get the upper hand and drive Regent out the front entrance of the zoo. Everyone is in shock and speechless. The hyenas return to Jefe's side, glowering at the other animals, bloodlust. Jefe pets the hyenas, calming them down.
Well, that's a lot for one day. Listen for now. This is what we'll do. Just until we get things back in order, and everyone is calmed down, we're going to suspend votes, special committee meetings, etc. I will personally look into every issue, and then I'll have someone let everyone know what I've decided. Things are just too tumultuous right now, and we have to keep a steady hand.
But
Good. That's settled then. Listen to me, my fellow animals. Regent was a cancer to us. He was a trouble starter. Now that he is gone, and with my new guard team, we don't have to worry about the 12 coming in here and attacking us. This is good. The best. Times are only to get easier and better for everyone. Once the hydro garden is complete, we start work tomorrow.
Animals are still shell-shocked as Jefe leaves with his pride and the hyenas. Slowly the rest of the animals leave stage. Eerie silence. Time is the last one to leave.
Nothing changes.
Blackout. Lights. Jefe and Tank are talking in front of the 12's house.
Regent was too small-minded. He worried about stuff that doesn't matter. Who cares if someone needs a blanket when the 12 is out here? They're trying to kill us.
I guess you are right.
Of course I'm right. I'll tell you what else I have decided. You and Tiki should move in here.
What? What? No.
Yes. Because you deserve it. You and Tiki have been working non-stop since we started New Eden. Without you guys, we would not have been able to do so much in so little time with the hydro garden.
I don't know, Jefe. It feels wrong. I thought all animals were supposed to be treated equally. The code.
Can you read, Tank? Look here.
Walks toward the code on the wall, which has been clearly altered.
It clearly states all zoo animals are to be treated equally, dependent on their contributions to New Eden.
Tank pretends to read.
Oh yeah, I guess it does.
Sure it does. And guess what? The house has hot water, a big bed. Tiki can take long hot baths, and you can rest up in bed. We need nice, rested big man.
Tiki would sure like the hot baths.
And privacy.
But I am not special or better than any other animal.
But you are. You're strong and brave. You are special, and you do deserve it. Repeat that back to me. Now, Tink.
I am special and I do deserve it.
Again.
I am special and I deserve it.
Damn right.
Blackout. Lights. Tank and Tiki center stage carrying luggage on their way to their new house.
I still don't know, think. What was wrong with our enclosure?
But if I said it was okay and we deserved it, because we have been doing most of the heavy lifting in building the new hydro garden, which really helps everyone. And I didn't tell you, but they have a bath and the hot water. I know how much you miss taking baths.
Really? Well, okay. But won't the other animals get mad at us? Jealous?
No, they will be happy for us. Plus, it's in the code. Animals are to be treated equally based on what they do.
I don't remember it that way.
Look there. It says so right there.
Tiki pretends to read.
Oh, yeah. I guess so. Well, if Pepe says it was okay and the code says it's okay, then I guess I'll race you to the back.
Tiki and Tank playfully enter their new house. Blackout. Lights. 12 and Stitch are meeting secretly downstage, left behind the bench. It's night.
Really? They moved into our house? How dare they? Beasts, they better not wreck it before we get it back.
Yeah, and no one is mad because they work really hard. They almost finished the new hydro garden. Hefe says it will make it so we don't have to rely on anyone else. We will have all the food we need year-round.
Hydro garden, huh? Well, okay. But what about the other stuff we wanted you to investigate? The abuse, violence, sex, murder, all of that stuff.
It's not really like that. I mean, it's not great, but with everyone focused on the new hydro garden, it has given us hope for a better tomorrow. It was tough for a while when Regent left. He left a void, but then we all just got used to things.
That's not why we pay you, Stitch. You want to be free. Really free. Well, you help us and we'll help you.
Oh, okay then, well then yes. There's all that stuff you said and more.
Just as we thought. Filthy creatures. And this hydro garden thing, that might be a problem. But we'll have to deal with that too. Can't let them get too independent. Tell us more about this hydro garden.
Okay, let's see.
Blackout. Lights. Stitch, Oso, and Coco are in the same place behind the bench. Still night. Stage whispers.
Thanks for meeting me here. So I confirmed it. The 12 will give us all the snacks we want, bigger cages, and all the time we want in our big enclosure, if we help them.
They said all the snack we want. Stitch, you heard that yourself.
Straight from the dog's mouth. What do you think, Coco?
Can we trust them? Remember how they used to treat us? Remember how they did old school and cell phone?
They know they made mistakes, but they aren't all bad. You said that yourself.
Yeah, a few were okay. I know some of them were mothers and fathers just trying to put food in the bowl in the bowels of their pups.
The bad 12 are gone, I promise. The 12 that are left have gone through more training. You can't even recognize them anymore. They aren't wearing their tough black spiked collars anymore, just normal beige ones. And they can't even call us zoo animals anymore. They have to call us animals in holding.
I don't care if they call me a pig, Stitch. What I care about is that they stop mistreating us.
Coco, also you have to listen to me. Everything will get better once they're back. Look at you also. It's almost hibernating season, and you look like you have to fight the current in the shower. And you, Coco, when's the last time you had a decent night's sleep? Or a hot bath?
Sir, what do you need from us?
Are you both in?
Yes.
Good. You won't regret it. Okay. This is what we're going to do.
Blackout, lights, chaos, animals running around with buckets of water. Hefe is trying to regain control.
Sabotage! Fire! Save yourself! The hydro guard is destroyed! Send the elephants to put it out! Save what you can! How could this have happened?
Nar, this is terrible. Whatever will we do now?
I know who did this. Regent. He must be working with them now. I knew he was bad news. Only he knew my plans outside of us. Only he could have snuck in here undetected.
What have I really? I mean, Regent and I fought side by side.
Oh, I admit it. He had me fooled too. He's a sly one. He tricked all of us, Tank.
Yes, sounds feasible. It was clearly Regent, I concur.
Find him. Bring him to me. Dead preferred, but alive is acceptable.
Hyenas run off in hot pursuit. Hefe addresses the crowd that has gathered.
We will rebuild. They will not stop us. Tomorrow we will start working on building an even better, bigger hydro garden.
Bigger? Tomorrow? It took a year of backbreaking work to get this far, and now we have to start all over. Plus, winter is almost here. What will we do for food?
I know you're tired, Coco. I know you are all tired. But rebuilding is how we secure our freedom from these terrorists. We can sell our extra vegetables and fur in exchange for whatever we need.
Fur? You're starting to sound like the 12. Why don't we sell some of the extra herbs you have been growing secretly in the way back fields?
Also, my pride and hyenas need those herbs for our nightly rituals. They help us sleep, so we can be at our sharpest to protect against the 12.
Well, that doesn't seem to have worked, now does it?
The animals are starting to get restless. It is clear they are starting to turn on Hefe. Hefe looks around and realizes the hyenas are gone.
Well, you have given me a lot to think about. But right now, I have to see what's left of the hydro garden.
Hefe quickly walks off. Animals huddle in the middle of the stage and start to whisper among themselves. Blackout. Lights. Animals are walking around pretending to be happy.
Visitors today! Be clean, be happy, extra portions for everyone tonight!
Time stops Tank, who was quickly walking by downstage center.
What are you doing, Ted? Go get cleaned up.
For what? What's all the hubbub? I'm working on the new hydro garden. I don't have time for whatever this is.
Well, Major, these orders come straight from Hefe, so go sit your giant ass somewhere and read a book. And don't forget to smile and wave.
Time, have you finally lost it?
Probably, but not about this. Oh, and don't mention that Larry and the rest of the lizards died last week.
Don't mention to who. Plus, Larry and them died from the plague. That was no one's fault, right? That's what Hefe said, anyway. And who am I supposed to be waving at?
Time points to the zoo entrance where Hefe is showing around the 12. Though they no longer look the same, they do not have the big black spiky collar, and the image on the front of the sweatshirt is of 12 nice, furry, sweet dogs.
Bam!
Hefe and the 12 wave. Time and Tank awkwardly wave back. All fake smiles.
They look like the 12. Who are they? Why are they here?
Where have you been? They're here to see us if they want to do business with us. Maybe trade hats or something. I don't know for sure. That's a Hefe thing. All I know is what I learned from the parrots squawking.
Surprised to see you involved? I thought you said you didn't care or get involved.
I never said I didn't care. I care a lot. It's both a curse and a blessing to live generations. But this isn't about what I care about. Well, not exactly. Hefe told some other animals that if these visits go well, maybe we can get some new animals in here.
You want more animals in here?
They gotta go somewhere, and maybe if I play my cards right, I can talk Hefe into trying to get another turtle in here. It's been so long since I spoke my native language with another turtle. I think I may have forgotten it. This place is full of animals, but can still feel very lonely when you don't have someone from your own species. You wouldn't know. You have Tiki. So anyway, go get cleaned up, because you stink.
Tank stalks off. Time continues to pretend to be happy, skipping around the stage. Blackout. Lights. Meeting. All present. Jefe is on stage with the hyenas. Oso and Coco are sitting in front row listening.
Today is a very sad day for me. I found out some things that break my heart and force my hand. But that is the weight of leadership. Fellow animals, I have some bad news. There live traitors among us, animals that are working against New Eden. I wouldn't have believed it myself, but the evidence is too strong. I will give these traitors one last chance to be honorable. If they are, I will be merciful. But if they force me to suss them out, I will gut them slowly.
It wasn't me. Why are you looking at me? Why are we talking to them anyway? It was supposed to be us against them, but I saw them in here the other day with you, Jefe.
How do you know that that was them, Coco? Why do you choose to question me when all I have ever done is try to help you? Tank, you have been questioning me lately. Hyenas. Okay, maybe not you guys. Now, let them go.
Tank and Tiki release the hyenas. The hyenas scuttle back to Jefe, whimpering.
But I know Coco was not working alone. What about you also? I know you two are close.
Yes, it was me too. Of course I've been working against you. You have only made matters worse since we took over the zoo. I'll say it, since no one else has the guts. I missed the 12, and I wish they were still running the zoo. The 12 was bad, sure, but you're no better, and at least they treated us equally bad. You are far worse than them. You hurt your fellow animals. You have not freed us. You have...
I did not...
Interrupted by the hyena attack. They kill him.
I did not want to do this. But the code is clear. If you turn on New Eden, the punishment is death. From now on, just until we get things back under control, everyone will be locked in their cages. The Pride will bring you your feeds, and the hyenas will serve as compound security. No one will be allowed out of their cages unless they have a pass. This is all for your security and well-being. This is what good leaders do.
Jefe, the Pride, and hyenas all leave. The other animals follow suit. Only Tank and Tiki are left on stage.
Back to your cages! Look-up time! Back to your cages!
That was nuts. I can't believe Pepe tried to stick the hyenas on us.
How did things get so
I
bad?
don't know. I can't remember if things were better before, like Oso said, or now. Why is it that we can't live in peace?
Peace was taken from us the moment we were brought in here. Once here, I don't think an animal can ever really know peace again. Pain and struggle is all we will ever know, no matter who's in charge. These cages change animals.
Tank and Tiki hold hands and slowly, sadly shuffle off stage. Blackout. Center stage. Jefe, hyenas, Pride. Jefe is pacing, worked up.
I can't believe it. I really can't. I am trying to help them, and they turn on me? Me! They do taste good, though. We were giving them bigger rations, too. Not that they knew why. God, it tastes so good to eat meat again. Maybe we should find traders every week.
They're eating Oso and Coco.
Jefe, they don't understand the pressure you are under. They have to plan everything and make sure everything runs smoothly. They owe you so much. In fact, we wanted to change the New Eden flag to this.
Pulls out a big flag with the profile of a lion on it.
I like it. Handsome guy. And we should celebrate your birthday as a national holiday, not Zoo Liberation Day or the Hoppy Battle. Without you, none of that would have been possible. Can't argue with logic. And you should be living in the 12's old house, not those giant leather necks. You need your rest and relaxation more than anyone. Yeah, but getting them out might not be so easy. We have also started teaching cubs a new mantra. Want to hear it? Sure, lay it on me. I pledge my life to New Eden, for which I owe to Jefe, and to the pride under which all other animals lie, and against anyone who should stand against us with honor and courage, as long as Jefe shall live. Yes, I like it. I like everything you said. All your ideas should be implemented ASAP. Tell the parrots to spread the word. Let them know if everyone disagrees, and let the hyenas handle them and use for dinner. Oh, I hope that the gazelles complain.
Blackout. A large crash. Sounds of yet another bloody fight. Lights. Stitch is dead. One of the 12 is dead. The Pride and hyenas are hurt, but alive.
Damn it. Stitch! I should have known. Go kill all the snakes. Lock everyone up, period, everyone. This is a code violation of the greatest order. Everyone will be punished. Take everyone's herbs. Take their blankets. Empty their cages.
Find Stitch's notebook.
What is this? Interesting.
What if Tank and Tiki try to stop us? They're too strong for us. What if we can't get them to lock up?
Oh, I think I have an idea on how to handle those two. It may cost me the Hydro Garden. I need to get a word to the 12.
Blackout. Lights. Jefe is talking to Tank outside the front door.
Tank, you and Tiki have been working so hard. I want to do something special for you. Tonight, I am sending my cook over to prepare you a wonderful meal with exotic fruits and herbs.
I appreciate it, Jefe, but we just want to work and get this hydro garden up and running as soon as possible. I think a lot of the issues we've been having would be solved if everyone had enough to eat. I can't stand to see the hungry young'uns.
Tank, you have such a good heart. But not everyone is supposed to eat until they're full. Remember the code?
What does it say? The truth is, I can't read. I tried to sign up for the reading class, but they said I had to wait until all the cubs from the Pride finished their classes.
It says, good and plenty of food for everyone that has earned it. So you go tell Tiki you're having a date night tonight. I'll send my chef over.
Jefe starts to walk away but turns back.
Oh, I almost forgot. Do me a favor and hold on to this notebook for me in your house. Don't want it to get wet.
Tank.
Enjoy your night.
Tank takes the notebook and walks into the house.
Hey Tiki, I have a surprise for you.
Oh, yes. Very special dinner with a very special ingredient.
Blackout.
Alright, pass me the pride. Make your life a little easier. Nice. You don't have to double duty.
Lights. Romantic dinner set up on the stage. Tiki and Tank finish up.
Ooh, this was so nice, Tank. We really needed it. I'm surprised Efe recommended it. I was starting to think he didn't like us anymore.
Obviously he still likes us. That was delicious. What did your chef call that pasta? Ruffini in tomato sauce?
I think so. Oh, I am so tired all of a sudden. Let's go to bed early.
Me too. Let's hit the hay.
Tank takes Tiki by the arm and they go back into the house together. The lights go off in the house. Blackouts. Lights. New Eden is a wreck. Dead animals, sweatshirts of different animals everywhere. Animals are walking around confused and battle-weary.
How could this have happened? Who was on guard duty?
Jefe holds a clipboard.
I like it. The schedule had Tank for tonight.
Where is Tank? Is he among the dead? I can't find him anywhere.
Garden destroyed! Garden destroyed!
Collect the dead, and someone find Tank now.
Just then the light goes on in Tank's house, and Tank and Tiki come out to see the chaos. They are groggy and out of it.
What happened?
My goodness, no.
Where were you?
We've been asleep. What happened?
Asleep. You slept through the explosion? The 12 blew up the hydro garden.
I can't believe it.
Tank, you were supposed to be on guard duty tonight.
Animals start surrounding Tank and Tiki.
This is highly suspicious.
We were asleep, I swear. We just woke up.
I forgot about my guard duty because of the special dinner you planned for Tiki and me.
You forgot. And the one time someone forgets is also when the 12 know to attack. And yes, I sent my chef over to cook you a nice dinner. But I never said your guard duty was canceled, did I?
Well, no, but...
But nothing. We lost everything. Many died today. Many more will die from starvation now. But you were nice and full and warm and cozy, weren't you?
Nice and warm, full and cozy.
Yeah, you think you're special.
Special. Deserve.
He admits it!
All right.
Pride goes into Tank's house.
Everyone calm down. Listen, Tank, Tiki, I'm not going to lie. This looks bad. Maybe you should leave for a while, just until we figure this all out.
Leave and go where? No, we're not going anywhere. The only place I'm going is back to bed. I have a horrible headache.
Tiki starts to walk back towards the house, but the hyenas block her path. Pride comes out of Tank's house with Stitch's notebook in hand.
We went inside to look for clues, and look what we found. It looks like plans to destroy the hydro garden.
Let me see that.
Oh, wait, that's not mine. You know that's not mine, Hefe.
The notebook I gave you didn't have this stuff in it. These are plans to destroy New Eden. Notes about meeting with the 12. Here. Everyone can read it if they want. Do you deny? That's what's written?
If you say that's what it says, then I guess that's what it says, but...
Caught red-handed. Because of your past courageous acts, I will waive the death penalty. But you must leave now. You and Tiki.
Leave now, must leave.
Tank and Tiki are surrounded by animals and pushed out of the front gates.
I can't even read!
Blackouts. Projected on the screen behind the stage, seasons changing, harsh winters over and over. Zoe, Cha-Cha, and Rue are all in a line outside of 12's old house, now Hefe's house. New Eden looks worn down, dirty, and so do the animals.
Hey Zoe, what do they call that gruel they gave us for breakfast?
Gruel. Do you have an extra blanket, Cha-Cha? Mine's so old you can see through it. I was shivering so loud last night I dreamt I was playing the maracas.
No one has extra anything. If it wasn't for these herbs I get every morning, I don't think I could take it. But waiting in line in this cold is for the birds.
Shh, Rue, not so loud. They'll use any excuse to cut off our herbs. It's the only thing keeping me from going crazy.
I want to know why none of the lions have to wait out here for their herbs. Why do they get to keep them all and pass out what they want? What does the code say about that?
They all look over to where the code was written, but now it has been crossed off and scribbled over so many times it's unintelligible.
The code is a joke now. No one can even tell me what it originally was.
I could. There was a time before that,
Points to the flag, which is now Hefe's profile.
and before we all had to memorize the mantra to pledge our life to New Eden and Hefe. There was a time when the code meant something, and we looked out for each other. It was us against them, and now it's us against us. I bet if someone just talked to Hefe and he could see how we are suffering, he would help us. When's the last time you saw Hefe? I mean, really saw him. His birthday celebration, maybe? But he was so far away and hard to see past his hyena protection detail. How many are there now? 40? 50?
I heard about a meeting, secret meeting, to discuss some of this stuff. There's a new animal, a tiger I think they called it.
Just then, parrots fly by.
Security good. Safety most important. Security good.
What are the parrots squawking about now?
Time points at front gate where the hyena, Pride, and Jefe are walking with the 13. They're all wearing new beige collars.
It's about that. I heard they were making some changes. Nothing changes when you live as long as I do.
Oh, zip it time, you old coot. It looks like they're replacing the old sign. Can you read what it says?
It says, New Eden Petting Zoo.
Just then, the cages of young animals are carted in through the gates.
They're just babies. Too young to be in the zoo.
You're never too young for them.
Blackout. Lights. All the animals except Jefe, Pride, and hyenas are center stage around the stage like the opening scene, except this time it's Regent on the stage talking.
Most of you were not here the last time I was here. I recently returned, brought back by the 13. I can't believe what I'm seeing. It's worse than ever, worse than before. I have a vision for a new, better Eden, New Eden. A new Eden with plenty of food for everyone, like the old days. You, Rue, you have had a broken tailbone for over 2 years, I heard. And they still do not send you for care.
I can't hop or jump at all.
And you, Zoe, I saw you ask for a new blanket. And what did they say to you?
They said there was no money for that.
No money. And yet, I saw them having a giant picnic yesterday. And you, Cha-Cha, you are skin and bones because of the unhealthy food they serve us.
Don't we deserve decent food? I see they get fed decent food.
Exactly! See, the problem is clear. It is them. It has always been them. We need to take over the petting zoo.
Continues to pantomime. Lights fade over the stage. The spotlight finds Time walking slowly towards the entrance, shaking his head. He looks up at the new flag, then continues on. He hesitates, turns back, grabs flag, looks around, throws it on the ground, spits on it, stomps on it, wipes a tear from his eye, and then continues off stage, out the front gate of the zoo. Blackout, end of act. End of play.
Thank you, everyone. On your table, there should be a sheet there for an evaluation of the play. And if you could fill that out, please, and give it to me, or just leave it on this table over here.
Go ahead, I hit it.
And at this point, I turn it over to Lisa.
Fernanda?
Yes.
Here we are. Yeah, Fernando and I would just like to, while you're filling those out, and you have a moment, just to hear any general impressions of the play that you'd like to share, even from the cast as well. Yeah.
What was something that you found interesting that resonated with you?
I'd say the dialogue is very well paced and it's just really punchy. And the dynamics between the characters are pretty palpable. You can kind of feel them pretty well, I would say.
What's it called? I remember reading Animal Farm in high school, and so it's nice to feel the similarities and having the image of. We had to watch the movie when I was actually that was in middle school. We had to watch the movie in 8th grade, and it was they did it with the real animals, and then there was audio over it. So it was just nice to at least have that image in the back of my head and kind of feel the two overlapping in moments and being oh, what would be an updated version of Animal Farm and how would it be? I mean, how would it be shown? This is one way.
Something that was so striking to me was how many accents there are. And so really, with that, being like, oh, this is a collective problem. This speaks to a collective experience, a collective issue. It's not just, the play, to me, doesn't necessarily point to one group of people being in the zoo. It's everyone. And that was really interesting to me.
Yeah, and kind of on that, I think that the fact that they're all from different places, but they're still in this collective, I think really adds to that sense of it being universal.
Anything that challenged you? There was mention about issue, right? This is a collective issue. Anything in particular that is challenging for you?
Christy had her hand.
Oh.
So it's interesting that you're landing on the accents because of obviously I'm thinking about where the playwright is and the incredibly blatant metaphor.
Right.
And the US has a real corner on this nightmare. So that actually, when you emphasize that, that feels like a real disconnect for me. I don't know if that's making sense. Because it's definitely a harsh system here. There are people in the room that can speak to it way better than I. And it super targets very specific groups of people. So I'm just, that just kind of disjointed it for me, to that observation.
Answer Bill?
Yeah, I just thought it was like a really good allegory for prison life.
Yeah.
12 obviously is the officers.
Right.
You know, in the different cultures, that's why there's so many different accents. Because there's so many different accents inside the prison. And so, you know, and even when the 12 kind of are on their hind legs historically in prison, somehow, you know, the zoo or the animals is what typically the 12 refer to us as. I have a hard time establishing a way to lead ourselves, for lack of a better way to say it. You know, there's so many competing factions inside the conflict jungle. And typically the strong survive when you have the lioness and the hyenas who are devoid of principles and values, obviously are the aggressors. So it was like a really good allegory for prison life.
I think it's a very interesting, the characters of Jefe and the Pride and the hyenas, I think it's a very interesting, the fact that they're identified as the Latino accents, right? Because, you know, a lot of the times when we think of Latinidad, especially in the United States, it is of a marginalized community. And so in this play, what we actually see is where they actually take power. And it's almost a re-examination of when hurt people hurt people. And the further, I guess, dogma or dichotomy of what will happen when those that, I guess a further exploration of like, for those that have been part of a marginalized community, what happens when they enter into power? Is it it's a fork in the road, right? And that's often conversations, but it's just interesting that this particular play does the work of presenting it in that way. Because a lot of the times what we see is those that are in marginalized communities, when they are being given power and or resources, what we typically see is it's about the community, it's about giving forward, it's about ending discrimination. Right. And this particular play does not do that. So it's interesting.
Well, that reminds me, I was actually in South Africa just shortly after, apartheid fell, and talked to several activists there, and they were putting into force the truth commissions, and they said that's why, because they didn't want to become the oppressors, coming out of their oppression. So, yeah.
It's also like interesting, like the relationship to power, and also that time making the choice of being like, I'm actually going to leave because I'm seeing the cycle about to happen again, and saying I would rather leave. I'm not going to try to like. I think if anything, time is interesting to me because time has seen it happen over and over again, and like doesn't try to meddle, doesn't try to push, just like lets the flow of things go and makes a decision. I'm just going to remove myself because there's nothing that I can do to like shift how these things are going, which is also like an interesting thing to run into when it's like when you see people that are supposed to be that are like trying to work forward, if it's not happening, do you try to support them and be like, hey, no, like we can really go in this direction, or do you go, no, I have to that fork in the road thing, do I have to go another way and try to figure out how I can survive for myself and like make my own community or start a new community, you know?
Because for the Jefe character, it wasn't, he was right, or they were right? It was never about, oppression, right? It was about saving their community because the pride and the lines, they were always taken care of. So it's,
I think I'm struck by the like constant, like the destruction of the Hydro Garden over and over. Metaphor, this dream that could feed everyone, and each faction in turn basically has a reason to destroy it, just to blame someone else. The traders are kind of tempted in destroying it. Jefe seems to destroy it to frame Tank and Tiki. Like it's. Everyone wants this, but everyone also has a reason to destroy it just to grab power for themselves. And so it never actually comes to be. And so everyone is still hungry.
And also, like with Tank being so powerful and having so much, the fact that Tank, and I feel like a thing about like education, the thing about like learning, the fact that Tank can't read is like, because if Tank could read, then like that's right off the top, Jefe is stopped and limited.
Right. But Tank is actively kept from reading.
Exactly. Tank is actively kept from reading because even when he tries, there's something in the way. But it's like just something as small as information can be the difference between like bringing your community together or things actually being fractured and separated.
and that's where the systems come in, right? That's how we identify systemic oppression.
Mr. Bell?
So there's, before I left Dixon last year, there's actually a hydro garden under construction.
Wait, we didn't hear that.
Could you say that again,
There's
Brian?
actually a hydro garden under construction.
Oh,
And
there
there's
is?
a group of guys who have access to the hydro garden. They eat better than everybody.
How long has that been planned? Wow, like a year before?
Well, I would just say, Leo Cardez worked in the building where the hydro garden.
Oh, that's
funny. He was reading or writing on the wall.
So to speak.
So it's just interesting you picked on the hydro garden because it was a place that everybody really wanted to end up at. So you could eat a little bit.
Oh, by the way, everyone, this great guy here is Fernando Reyes. He is helping to facilitate this. Of course, and he does many different facilitations. With Still Point, he helps us after programs are done to debrief and look at the program and look at it from every side. And Fernando also helped us to plan a program that we do now on the South Side with youth. So anyway, just so you know who he is. Anyone else or any other impressions or?
I'll feel bad if I don't follow up my comments with the accents were amazing. So that was so fun. Yes.
Enjoyable. Yes. Brought into life.
I never heard anybody's accent work at this table before, and everyone did astounding. So.
Especially when they were talking to themselves.
Ryan pretty much broke it down to the T, but I just wanted to let all y'all know y'all did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Let's give it up for that.
I have a question for Friday and Darius. Like, I mean, obviously you're gonna be talking to Toussaint and, Musa and other people that have been creative with you. Like, what's the takeaway that, for you that were inside and crafting yourselves and continue to craft on the outside? Like, what's the message to your...
How long you got?
Yeah.
I can write a book telling you that. But it's just, it's motivational, and it's just something to see thoughts get manifested like that, and then come to the outside, which is a big gap that we've been trying to bridge anyway, from the prison to the communities out here. So just seeing it manifest is incredible in itself. So that's the opening topic.
Just talking about, at the Steel Point, we played from ours, particularly from the inside, while we're there. Giving our family the opportunity to see what we're writing, was just a really big deal. I mean, it's immeasurable, amount of, just joy and satisfaction that we derived from what Steel Point was doing. And it really energized us and made us really want to just go harder as writers, and represent our community, bigger community of Dixon, but also our writing community. Just like you said, you guys just really brought it to life. Thankful for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
My daughter and I enjoyed coming, and we came to all of them, and we enjoyed them so much. And then we were so excited to go back and wait for him to call so I could share, so he could tell the guys what people were saying and how everyone enjoyed it. So it was really exhilarating. I really love coming, and I hope to continue to come for all of the plays like we had before.
And just to be clear, the comments that you're putting on the forms will be sent back to the playwright. So those comments are going directly to them to help them continue to hone their work. So.
And that they're being heard. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious about the process in terms of, we have beautiful writing art that is impactful for whoever listens. What are the challenges that go into having these presented to us? The people that write these playwrights, what are some of the challenges that they may encounter to send us these?
Well, some of the challenges may be depending on how the powers that be feel that day. We may be not afforded the opportunity to collectively come together. So if we're on a collaborative project, sometimes that can pose a challenge. If maybe we can't get to a gym period, or we're not afforded any type of time to be able to find a mutual meeting space with us living in multiple units, so that can sometimes serve as a challenge if you're trying to meet a deadline and get things done at a certain time.
So for me, I first heard about Steel Point on the walk. Toussaint was walking this way, I was walking that way. And he stopped, he was telling me, man, Steel Point contacted me, they're gonna do a reading, and the officers are, keep moving, keep moving. But we standing there again, I'm like, all right, I'm going to listen to me. So, okay, can I submit? He's like, yeah. Rio was like, man, can I submit? Because I was walking with Leo, and it was like, okay, it really made us go and dig in. But I think what you heard and what you hear in all of our writing is a little taste of journalism, because we want to export what prisoners like. So that's why I was saying the allegory and all the things that we talked about. A new eating. A new eating is constantly the conversation, how can we make prison better?
Sure.
Particularly when you live in it. How can we make ourselves better to where if we get an opportunity to have something good happen for us, how can we sustain it and not tear it down ourselves?
I have a question. Did you all ever experience any censorship from the prison administration or not?
A great deal.
A great deal. Yeah.
Actually, fortunately, Brian was pretty good with giving us a pre-censor And so we don't rock the boat too far. You know, him having years ahead of us of incarceration, he had a better understanding of what may have been pushing the envelope in our allegory. And so that was able to have us skip a headache. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good. Wow.
You guys all collaborated in some respect, even though the idea and the seed for each of those plays was maybe one person. You guys balanced thoughts off. I mean, you just described it was very hard to collaborate time-wise because you weren't afforded the time to be together at the same time. But how did that pan out in the collaboration?
Well, we made it work, you know, via law library meetups and church meetups and different meetups, gym meetups, yard meetups, and then eventually, after the success of our initial play, which was what Who Are You, correct? We were approved on a pilot basis to start a playwriting program.
How long ago was that?
That was 2018, I believe. Yeah. So at that point, you know, a couple days a week, we were able to go over to a building and have a room assigned to us where we can, you know, get together, collaborate, write, rehearse, things of that nature.
And Brian, you went on to do it in Robinson.
So, yeah.
How far did that get? That's less security.
No, it's actually,
It is?
less security in name only. I think I want to add a little bit to what Darius just said. You know, it's really difficult to get a prison employee to support a peer-led program. You know, so when our conversations with interim chaplain Stamper, who was an officer, and he had worked in the system for so long that he really was one of the officers who was like, I want to give you guys a chance. And he had, you know, we understood the parameters, like the administration was like, okay, you can't criticize officers. You can't use profanity. You know, you can't portray violent acts on stage. And when you're dealing with as many people, I mean, ultimately we came to deal with hundreds of guys going in and out of the program, you know, as writers, actors, on stage, just running things. We figured this out. We had no training. We just, every time we did a production, we just tried to do it better. But some some of the writings we preserved simply to find a way to send the competitions outside. Like what the young was describing, the things that we actually performed in prison. You know, those were the things that we put a lot of restrictions on. But when we found out about Still Point, you know, it kind of loosened up a little bit. But once you train to write in a certain voice, it's kind of, you know, hard to retrain yourself to write in a certain, you know, write so aggressively. You know, that's why you don't hear a lot of profanity and Leo's play. None of our work, because we found our voice in a way that we wanted to be accepted, and also have our story appreciated for what it means outside of just the playwright, as journalism, humanizing us and talking about the prison culture and conditions in our lives. So that was very important. But in Robinson, so this was kind of like piggybacking off our success in Dixon. You know,
They heard of you.
right. So they had guys, two sons.
You're the troublemaker. I want to start a writing program.
Right. So, you know, kind of cornered the program where you got to understand every different segment of the prison administration has a different, you know, job. A program warden is supposed to have programs. And so when you say, okay, listen, we want to do something as simple as write, you know, can we write? Can we just start at that point? Can we get a group of writers? And, you know, you just have to get it to them real simple. And at the same time, you know, just show that you're going to go to the space. So we had a mantra. Go where you're going, and when you get past from us, you go where you're going. You don't go here, there. You go exactly where the room is going to. While you're in the room, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. You know, we're actually in there writing and trying to figure out how to put these scripts and dialogues together. And when it's time to go, we already walking out the door. You don't have to come and tell us it's time to leave. If you say it's 2:30 is when we have to leave, at 2:25, we're leaving. We're finished, everything is clean, it's like we had it. So we had a way to get the administration to respect the way that we went about our business. And they gave us the room to meet as much as we did and initiate programs. Because now we have another faction in East Moline. It has a poetry club. And then you have the writing team in Robinson, and we're in constant contact with those guys all the time.
That's dope.
In fact, one of the guys, you have 2 plays about to come to Steel Point out of the Robinson writing team.
Great. Anything else, or? And just so you know, we do have on the papers, you know, where you're sitting, there's some upcoming events for Still Point. And one of them is next month, we're going to have an afternoon with Brian.
In June.
In June. Oh, in June, yeah. Yeah, it feels like May. But in June, we're going to have an afternoon with Brian, speaking to just what you have recently lived and your recent exoneration. So we really hope that you'll spread the word about that. And we'll be upstairs because we have a feeling it'll be a big group.
Please leave your email address, contact info on the table over there so we can send you information about that.
And we also have a little container if you'd like to make a donation. We wouldn't fight it. Yeah. Anything else, or?
Chris, would you take pictures of group pictures for us?
Yeah, I'll get them all up together.
Please feel free to stick around for a little while and have some more food and drink and talk amongst yourselves. So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.